Yo! Hey people, this is an 18 and up venue, so if you're not 18 or up, get the fuck out. This is Salem by Night, a Changeling the Lost scene set in Salem, obviously. So, little Miss Rose, she wants to meet with and learn more of the elusive mayor who has recently come back into his position, having had his his second in command, Keegan, holding down the fort for a year while he went to rehab and, house arrest and things like that for murdering someone. Let's just skip over that happening. So she wants to meet Lucio, who is on his last chance to serve as mayor and the Vernal Sovereign. If he does not attend to his duties to satisfaction, there's the possibility that he could die. So he is in his office, basically kind of staring up at the ceiling his first day back, wondering how the hell he's going to catch up with everything. And his assistant, Keegan, will have escorted Rose in.
Yeah, before she actually went in, because I feel that the audience needs to know about this, she would have looked up at Salem City Hall and looked up, and said softly to herself, "Is that a fucking dragon on the top of the building?"
Indeed. Yeah, a fucking dragon on top of the building.
Fucking dragon, of course there is.
And chimerically, it is a hobgoblin dragon, so it's real.
Yes. You're like, yep. Just nod. That is a dragon on the top of the building. Okay. So, and then she would be
naturally, the dwelling upon which Lucio Vargas works would have a dragon sleeping on it.
Of course it would.
So
is Lucio its treasure?
Right? Probably. So she's led back to the mayor's office. Smaller than one might imagine, but no less impressive. He's behind the desk. He's wearing a very well-cut, beautiful, bespoke suit. It looks mortally like it's just a kind of a deep green suit, like so deep it's almost black. But she can tell that it's actually shimmering chimerically with colors of green and gold and blue, almost kind of like a peacock feather. Ooh. And he'll stand up, and he moves with a grace that is surreal. And he'll smile at her and tilt his head a little bit. And he'll offer her his manicured hand.
She smiles to him. It's a friendly smile, but it's not one that's trying too hard. And she'll offer her own very well manicured hand back.
Now, the fun thing is when she actually shakes his hand, she notices that although his hand is well groomed and kept, it's strong and like muscled. Mm-hmm. And she can tell that he has calluses on his palm. And like his knuckles are like as though he's worked with something.
So like prolonged use of some sort of tool or weapon. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he'll sit back down.
In her mind, him being a king, she would assume probably a sword or something like that.
He'll notice that it's a little bit later in the day. He'll check his watch. And he'll look at what she's wearing.
So she dressed, let's see, a lot like what she's wearing in the overlay on her mortal seeming.
Yay! She's wearing pants.
Yes.
before he sits down, he'll actually close up his folders and all that. And he'll say, Vamos. That's how I like, come on.
She'll come in. Follow.
So he actually leads her to his car.
Okay.
And he'll throw his like messenger bag and his stuff in the back. It's a nice luxury SUV.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll open the door for her. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you.
She'll nod and get in.
And he'll hop in. He's playing Shakira, by the way. Have fun.
Yes. Yes.
But like other Cheyenne, Shakira, fucking Selena. All that good Spanish music, that kind of thing. And he'll actually drive for a while. He drives in silence, what might be a little creepy. Like it's one of those, I know he's the Spring King, but God fucking damn, you could have been the Autumn King.
Right? Like, no, she seriously is wondering why this dude is not Autumn. Why are you not of my court, is what she's thinking in her fucking head. Like,
he turns off-road onto a dirt road.
God damn it. Oh, shit.
You know this bitch by now is like, are the doors locked? Are the doors locked? Oh God, the doors are locked. You're scarier than the fucking Autumn King. What the fuck?
So, she's wondering, should I text Lucci my goodbye now?
Why is the Spring King more frightening than the Autumn King? I don't know.
Right? Yeah, why am I more afraid of this dude than Nikolai? That's not okay.
So
Like,
he stops the car in front of a barn.
now she's thinking that the calluses on his hand is probably from a shovel.
Yeah. You're gonna die. No, he'll smile at her, and he'll walk over to the door of the barn, and he'll pull it open, and he whistles, like, and you hear whinnies.
So she breathes.
And he goes inside.
A relieved breath. Like, oh my God.
There's a bunch of horses in here.
Yeah, she gets that now. Oh, fuck me dead.
He'll go in and he'll take off his his suit jacket and the undershirt, like the button up he was wearing, and go down to like his tank top. And he'll switch into some boots, and he'll actually point at like the tack room where there's riding boots for like women, like men. Like he pulls on a pair of riding boots. Have you ever ridden a horse before?
Actually, I have.
So he'll pull out his own horse, which is a very beautiful black Frisian with like the long like feathers on the like legs and like long like mane and tail. And he'll kind of like he'll look over his horses for a bit, and then he'll get her like a it's a Palomino, and it's not quite as big as his. And it seems a little more like kind of relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll saddle them up, and he'll offer her hand to help her up on the horse.
Yeah, she'll take the help and get herself settled up on it.
And he'll swing up onto his, and he'll give it a little tap, and they'll go. Now you see where the calluses are from.
Yes. Yes. from taking care of horses.
Yes.
Not from burying bodies in the backyard.
And that
I
as well.
mean, yeah, that as well. But,
He
like,
has
not
pigs.
only. Honestly.
Yeah, but he'll ride for like about 2 minutes with her. And then he'll smile at her.
Just a while back.
How much of you thought I was bringing you out here to dispose of you?
I am not going to lie. She'll say, she'll like hold up the two fingers this much.
He'll nod. He'll nod.
I am not one that is about to underestimate you at all. Like, no, she shakes her head.
She knows what. He'll smile.
Besides,
And he just rides with her quietly. He takes her down like some really peaceful trails. Very nice and quiet trails for a while.
yeah, she'll take
He's letting her
it.
talk. Like he's basically being quiet so she can talk.
Well, she does take in the scenery for a little bit, like just enjoying the ride. This was not planned in her day, so. But she'll say she will eventually, after probably 10 minutes, start talking. And she'll say, so what can you tell me about Salem? Haven't been here too long.
The history of the political climate.
Political climate.
The political climate is something that I've been out of the loop on for over a year. I'm still catching up.
She nods.
For the most part, it's he thinks there is a lot of discordance. So many different egos at play. Sometimes I think that's what keeps the gentry at bay.
She'll nod.
They don't know which one of us to target. And then you start adding in the others, he'll air quote, the vampires, the werewolves, the magi.
Indeed.
I think sometimes people forget that we've forgotten to look after our own. Us fae folk. And
that is something that I noticed upon coming here. There were children living in the forest.
well, there's no reason they should have.
No.
At the very least, I've built a community center. I made it very clear that if there was ever anything that was in need, to just simply ask. Well, that's the other problem with this city. It's a sinkhole for children. I think it's something in the air.
She furrows her brow at that.
Think about the original things that transpired here, that made history. Was it not simply, at the end of the day, children going mad?
Yeah.
It's written into the very fabric of this city. And children go missing, children live on the streets, children have an awareness that doesn't fit their development.
Yeah, and that gets her thinking about Morgan.
This land is cursed, and nobody wants to admit it. It's poison to children.
Do you think that there's any way to get around that? Lift it?
I'll shake his head. I think it's just written into the very fabric of what this place is. You would destroy it.
She nods.
So I think the only thing to really do is minimize it.
Well, in my opinion, the courts leaving children to basically fend for themselves is not minimizing it. So I want to do something about it.
Now, what do you want to
do? Want to open I guess the way Claudia put it, a boarding school for children. So that they have a place to go, they're taken care of, they can go to school.
He nods. Okay.
Because she shakes her head. Those conditions are not acceptable.
No, they're really not. Well, have you talked to Claudio and Keegan?
I have spoken with Claudio, yes.
You're probably going to have to go down to the station and get fingerprinted.
She nods.
As well as anyone that you would like to have help you in this. It would be working on a faculty level.
Yes, the police officers, I had a character, I don't remember his name, had said that he would help me in however he can to make sure that it gets off the ground.
Probably Mel Gordon.
Yes.
Mel is very helpful. He's a good ally to have on retainer. I like him.
I liked him too. I got very good impressions off of him.
He's a good man.
He seemed willing to help me get the kids off the street, so that's definitely a plus.
Black is the reason that I was in rehab. I traipsed up to him naked, strung out on cocaine.
Oh my.
I swore he was my lost bride, according to the videos that were on YouTube. It took Keegan about 6 months to get those things removed.
Wow. That sounds like that was quite a sight to behold.
Smile.
Just...
You know, I like riding horses.
Calming?
Mm-hmm. It stills your mind.
Indeed.
And I find it's hard to. I find when riding a horse, it's. I don't. I don't mean to say this to imply that you're doing it or would. I find it's hard not to have an honest conversation on horseback.
She'll nod.
As if you know inherently deep down that if you begin to grow nervous, the animal will too. So you just sort of relax to where you open up. So I tend to, when dealing with persons of interest in the Fae courts, I tend to do my meetings from horseback.
That's very clever.
He smiles. He kind of at his horse and scratches behind his ear. So tell me about yourself. Or we could play a game if you like.
Sure, what kind of game?
You could ask me a question. But the deal is you have to answer your own question as well. So for instance, if you ask me, where did I go to college? I would answer, but you would also have to answer.
Okay. That's a good game to play. She thinks about first question to ask. Where did you grow up?
In New York?
Born and raised there.
Mm-hmm. I grew up in Washington Heights. My parents, they were working people. My father was an artist from Mexico. My mother was an immigrant from Cuba. She came over raft and they met in New York City. Fell in love, had me, got married. Had my brothers and sisters. And my dad worked like an animal every day of his life. He still came home and ate dinner with us and was a part of our lives. I never saw him miss anything. Ballet recitals, plays, award ceremonies, graduations, he was always there. And he worked 2 full-time jobs. So our mom could be home with us.
She smiles.
Now, my mom took some seamstress jobs here and there, but that man paid for my full ride to Harvard. I had a couple of scholarships, but there's no such thing as a free lunch, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about you?
I was born and raised in Miami. My father was influential in politics there. I grew up privileged. I was taken when I was 11. And when I came back, right back into Miami. But the catch was that even though I grew up and aged almost 20 years, only a year had passed on the outside. So I could not go back to my life at all.
Lo siento.
She nods. Honestly, for the best. I learned how to fend for myself and work from the bottom up on something, which is my life. Had to make deals with people that probably wouldn't have otherwise made deals with had I not been in the circumstances that I was in. So it taught me some humility. Made sure that I kept my own ego in check, so I don't regret it at all.
She nods. I'll think a moment. What is your favorite guilty pleasure food?
My favorite guilty pleasure food?
Mm-hmm. Like, you know how you always have like the steak, tacos, potato chips, you know? Like people always say like, I don't know. They try to be fancy and say like lobster steamador. I don't know. Shrug. Baked Alaska. Steak, chili, stuff like that. But I mean like your favorite like junk food. Like the one that makes you like pop open the top button of your pants. You know?
She nods. Yeah. So I sometimes on a weekend night, or really honestly any night that I feel like just not caring about it, will order probably the greasiest pizza that I can muster from a less than popular pizza place.
You go
And
to
those are
Papa John's,
usually
don't you?
no,
Oh,
I'm not that. No, one of those like local places that just doesn't care about how much oil they put on their crust. Which is honestly some of the best ones. And sit in front of the TV and watch, I don't know, something like Jane the Virgin or Queer Eye with my
I love
pizza.
Jane the Virgin. I love Jane the Virgin.
Me too. So good. with my pizza and a bottle of red wine and a pint of Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, that's fancy.
I know, right?
That's like button and zipper. And like 2 extra hours at the gym.
Indeed.
I think for me it's disco fries. You don't have any of those. You know what those are, do you? I just realized that if you're from Miami.
Do what?
He says disco fries are his favorite thing.
Oh, okay. She'll smile.
It's crinkle cut fries with gravy and mozzarella cheese. Kind of like poutine, but not.
Yeah, I was about to say it sounds very similar to that.
Mm-hmm. And it is kind of, but there's no cheese curds, and the gravy is not like a beef gravy. It's a Jersey thing. Like it comes out of Jersey, but that whole area. Like if you're really like you're really drunk, especially kind of like a low voice, which supposed to be in your head, and you just really need somebody to hit home. Disco fries, like 3 a.m. Stumble in from the diner when all you can do is point at the things on the menu. Food magically appears in front of you. Forgetting that it was Carol, the angel in apron, bestowed it upon you. You get a big plate of disco fries.
And shovel it in shamelessly because you're so drunk you don't give a shit.
Shamelessly. While drinking the biggest malted milkshake you can. Like just the biggest one. Like chocolate malted milkshake.
That actually sounds really fantastic.
It is. Your turn.
She nods. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I can go anywhere in the world. No smile.
Not even fair.
I have a passport.
Fine. Where's your favorite place to go in the world then? She just shakes his head, just crosses her arms, looks at him like bastard.
You just grin like a cheeky little grin at her. My favorite place in the world is probably the town my father grew up in Mexico. I know this sounds really nostalgic as fuck, but I know it sounds totally nostalgic, but it's true. I love the town my father grew up in. It's a little south coastal town, Pacific, not Atlantic. So the water is very deep and cold.
Yes.
And the beaches are some of the purest you'll ever see in the world. And the city is beautiful. I know everybody, when they think of Mexico, they're always thinking of migrant towns, and they're always thinking of fucking, the way the border towns are, But once you go in deep into the heart of Mexico, you're really in there. Oh God, the architecture of the old town, it's beautiful. And then when you start going into the more modern downtown areas, things like that, and you get these big, beautiful buildings that gleam in the sunlight like ivory. And there's just green and blue and red and yellow all over the place. Just colors, vibrant and life everywhere. And then you look out onto the waters of the Pacific and it just feel so small taking it all in. But I don't. It makes me feel whole. And I like to walk down the little uneven streets, too small for a car to go down. Just listen to the noises around me, the TVs, the people fighting, people yelling and laughing, food cooking. He kind of closes his eyes, like his mind is going back there. He takes a deep breath and smiles.
Yeah, she actually closed her eyes listening to it.
She'd swear she can get a sense for it from the way he's describing it.
Right?
Then he'll just open his eyes.
That was beautiful. I don't have anything quite that sentimental.
What are you saying? Coral Gables isn't beautiful? Just like smirking her. Barrio, McMansion, Ah! Adonis house! Let's get our kayaks and go out to Fisher Island, kids! He puts on the whitest voice on God's earth. I could just answer the phone to a fucking bill collector.
She just cracks up laughing. Like, how did you know that's where I went when I was a kid?
We'll smile.
Because I grew up white and rich, that's why.
Don't you know that's where the Bushes have their summer home?
Oh my god. She gags.
Just smiles.
Actually, of the places I've been, which unfortunately I haven't done a whole lot of traveling. I would like to remedy that at some point, but of the places I've been, I would have to say that actually Hawaii is my favorite.
I do love Hawaii, actually.
So
I have a
beautiful
home
and peaceful.
I think I have a home there. He texts Keegan, like, do I still have a home in Hawaii? Yes, he still has a home in Hawaii. Yeah. So he'll think a moment. When is the one time you can say you felt the most love? It can be familial, romantic, whatever. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, she'll think about that for a moment. Honestly, I would have to say that the time that I felt the most love a few days ago.
tilts his head.
She, like, her whole face just kind of lights up.
He smiles. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this is love. So this is what makes life divine. I'm all aglow, and now I know the keys to heaven is mine. He'll smile.
So she's, like, bright fucking red now. Like, just all, like a smitten schoolgirl, honestly. So I guess the time in my life I felt the most love is now.
For me, it was the first time my daughter, Dawn, ever called me Papa. I didn't grow up knowing I had had her. And I had realized she was mine. I didn't say anything for a long time. We had grown close without her, close in the working sense without her knowing I was her father. And I told her that I was her father Monday in this little shop. There actually was the live-in above a shop.
Shannon.
We had pizza and soda. I told her I was her father, and it went as expected. Happy, but cautious, of course. But then a little bit later, she called me Papa. Oh, the first time she told me, oh my God, it's her father. I thought my heart was going to from how big it got. Yeah.
Your heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Oh, I am quite the Grinch, though. Yes. Everybody thinks I always wear green because of spraying peacocks.
No.
Grinch.
To hide your true identity.
To hide my true Grinchish identity. Your turn.
I suppose go the opposite. Is something that you fear.
When I was in rehab, my mother passed away. And I didn't get to see her before she died. I don't regret the last thing I ever said to her. I told her I loved her before I left to go somewhere. My mother was the definition of what a mother is. She always stood by us. She was fierce and beautiful and loyal and kind. She had breast cancer, and it just slowly ate away at her. And I got the call when I was in rehab that it was time. It had finally gone too far. And I tried so hard to get furlough. I tried so hard. I promised them I swore on a stack of Bibles that I would not use while I was out, but I was detoxing, to be honest, in the first place. So she died. I didn't even get to go to her funeral. I know I have led a very questionable life. And my fear is that if there is something beyond this, I won't be going there. And so I'll never see my mother again.
Yeah, she nods, and she actually will move her horse a little closer and reach out for his hand.
I'll take it. He'll ride for a couple of more minutes. The horse will slow down a little bit, sensing his distress.
Yeah.
And he'll kind of wipe his eyes. Whew. What a stupid fear, huh?
No. Not stupid at all. Mine is that. I don't feel it's quite as deep as yours, but still a fear I have nonetheless. Is that no matter how hard I try, I will still end up exactly like my keeper wanted me to be, and I will be alone and bitter. I don't want that.
I know I ended up like my keeper wanted me to. I tried not to, but
My keeper would need to be ambitious, which I am, but also ruthless, cruel, to get what I want by any means necessary.
mine wanted me to be broken and destroy everything I ever loved, so that nothing but her would matter.
She nodded.
I've been doing a pretty fine job of it, to be honest.
Well, have another chance.
Have you ever heard the song Viva la Vida by Coldplay?
She nods. I have.
I very strongly identify with that song. Very strongly. I want to believe that I can be saved, that I have a second chance, but I just feel like in the end, I'm going to be alone and unloved and wretched, broken.
There's something we have in common.
No. I think a lot of people think that my ex-wife, Lynn, that I didn't love her. I don't think that what they realized is in some sick, twisted, deranged way. The depths of which I hurt her. What I went to was because of how much I loved her.
She nods.
She was the only woman who could ever take my breath away. Most women, I don't mean this rudely, please, disgust me. It has nothing to do with anything.
She shakes her head. I don't. It's fine. I'm not taking any offense to it.
I remember when we first got together, don't bite his lip. I used to feel when she'd just cup my face, run her hands through my hair, say my name. I remember when she got pregnant, I was so excited. That's why I hurt her. Because she made me happy. And I've been taught to destroy everything that makes me happy.
Well, that strikes a nerve with her as well. Who was your keeper?
Her name was Maya. She stylized herself in a very Central Asian fashion, Indian sort of way. She looked like an Indian woman, young, very voluptuous body, long, ebony curls, bright green eyes like emeralds. And she fancied herself a goddess. And she took 99 of us. At any point in time, there were 99 of us. And we were made to make love to her, to attend to her handmaidens, and to become number one. To become her favored lover. Meant that you had to sacrifice more and more and more. The most arranged part of it all was to be her favored lover was the reason that there was 100. She normally killed him within days, if not hours. I got smart. I was perfectly happy being 98. I have a bit more pride than to be 99, but I think because of that, actually, I think at points I was her favorite because of that. He'll ride back with her. They can keep talking, but it's getting late. He had sent a text. And they'll put the horses away and kind of take their riding boots off and stuff like that. And he'll take her onto a back porch where it's like overlooking the land. And there's like chili with like cornbread and stuff like that and like red wine waiting for them.
Nice.
No motion to sit down.
She does so. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
I'll talk to Claudio and to Keegan and see what I can get for him. Building wise to get this school of yours going.
She's
Fortunately, it is one area in which I actually do have much sway.
She'll raise her glass to that.
Clink kiss to hers. Well, I propose a toast.
Nod.
To the children of the City of Dragons. And he'll raise his glass to her.
She'll raise hers and clink her glass.
Attack. May they be as damaged as always. And he'll say, yeah, with that, I think we can end our scene.
Yeah.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.